Happy Tuesday, everyone. This is Sherry Minnie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in the state of Colorado in a small town called Keansburg, which is about 45 minutes northeast of Denver. And today we're going to be kind of switching gears. I've been doing very simple and easy cards the last couple of videos or so. Today I'm going to do one. It's still pretty easy, but it does have a few more pieces, and it is featuring all current merchandise that is featured in the new mini catalog that runs from September through December of this year. So since the weather in Colorado has switched and we're having beautiful, beautiful mild days and our cool, crisp nights, I decided it's time to delve into fall. Hopefully we won't be having snow around here too soon. Sometimes we do get a surprise storm in October, but I'm praying that that doesn't happen this year. So today we're going to be making this card. I have left it blank on the inside because I am not sure what occasion I might be using this for, but it's kind of a generic greeting on the front, so we could use it for just about any occasion. So for what we'll be using today, this is the bundle that's available in the catalog. As I said, it's called Autumn Leaves. Beautiful images and sayings here. I'm thinking this is going to be my card that I put out for everyone that belongs to our church for Thanksgiving. And then we have the dies, and there's several dies. We'll be using this die, and we'll be using this large leaf die, but there's smaller leaves and just a lot of nice foliage type dies in this set. So I think I'll just pull these out since we're going to be using them and get them out. Put them back in their containers so I do not lose them. We'll also be using dies. These are featured in the annual catalog, or no, I guess these are in the September to December also, and they're called the Deckled Circles. And we'll be using a couple of different sizes. We'll be using the third from the smallest, and I think it's the fifth from the smallest. As you can see, there's a ton of dies on here. Let me see if I can get it out. It doesn't want to come. They're so close together. Let me make sure I've got this right. We'll be using that one, and we'll be using that one. So these are the three sizes that we're using out of those. And I'll put these back. We're going to be using some of the Designer Series paper. This is called All About Autumn. It's a 6x6 pack, and I've used a large amount of this, but it is beautiful. They're all foiled on one side, and then you have different patterns, fall patterns, beautiful leaf patterns. Let me see if I can pull it. I think this one is really pretty, and I like this one, kind of like a photograph of a scene. So I've used a lot of it. As a matter of fact, I've already ordered 2 more packs because I love fall, and I love making fall cards. All right. Then we'll also be using a new embossing folder. This is also in the September to December mini. It's called Distressed Tile, and I think you can probably see it's very nice. I really do like it, and we'll be using some of the in color ribbon. This happens to be copper clay, and you'll have a piece of this in your packet. We'll be using, for embellishments, we're going to be using the brushed metallic dots. I'm going to change it up a little bit on this one. Even the colors are changed on this one because I used up all of this Designer Series paper. On this one, I used the Pretty Peacock sequins. This one, we're going to use the brushed metallic dots. And we'll be using copper embossing powder. And the only ink that we're really using right now, because I'm not doing the inside, is the Versamark. Okay, so let's get started here. Get everything out of the way. In your packet, you'll have, and for this particular card, I did a very vanilla card base. I do believe this will be a card that we'll do in October when my classes resume. There's no classes in September because my granddaughter is getting married in Dallas, and we'll be traveling for a week or so, visiting with her and some other family. And you'll have a piece of copper clay. This is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. You'll have a piece of designer series paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4. You'll have 3 or 4 small pieces to cut our die, to do our die cuts. And then this is what's left over from the designer series paper that we'll use in our envelope in the inside of our card. And then you'll have a piece of ribbon, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to show you what we would do first. Really, not a whole lot of stamping on this card. So we take this is our embossing buddy. It kind of cuts down on the static so that your powder stays where you want it to, just want it to go. And since these are photopolymer stamps, I'm going to be using my little cushion. I forgot what it's called. I know what it's called, but paper piercing mat is what it's called, but I don't use it for much of that. I use it mostly for cushion for when I have photopolymer stamps. So we're going to use this stamp set. It says autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. And we're going to put this in the middle. And I know you cannot see that, but when I put the embossing powder on it, you will be able to see that. I will not be embossing it, however, because I don't bring my heat gun over here and it's so loud. It just really does create a noisy scene for a while. Okay, and then what you would do is you would take your smallest deckled circle, put it on there, and we're going to run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And when you do that, you end up with a piece that looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side. So once you get the powder on, it can sit for quite a while before you have to think about putting the heat on it. I usually do it right away, but you don't have to. All right, so first, and then you're going to have, you should have, which I did not bother to bring over, but you'll have a small piece of Very Vanilla, and you will take this large leaf, and we will run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and you get a shape that looks like this. It'll be plain, and then that you will take and run through the Distress Tile embossing folder. Again, run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then when you're done, when you finish that, you have this nicely embossed leaf. I think you all can see that pretty well. It'll focus. There we go. All right. Then you'll take your pieces of scraps of copper clay for the large circle and the Pretty Peacock for the small circle. You'll see that I really changed it around because on this one I did Whisper White and copper clay, and then this is Pretty Peacock. But as I said, I'm out of this paper, so I had to use what I have. So this is the color scheme that we're using. Okay. And once you get those circles cut out, then you have everything that you need to get your card going. So we'll take the one circle, and I'm going to take my multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to I think I'll take my tweezers, just makes it easier for me to eye it as I'm centering it. Excuse me, and you're going to center this in this middle of your circle as best you can. Okay, just like so. Okay, and then, pardon me, as I say, you all know I've said it many times, my allergies are just absolutely horrible this time of the year, and I'm really suffering with them. So if you excuse me, I'm just going to take a quick drink and see if that'll calm me down for a bit. Okay, now we're going to build our front piece. So we have our 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece of copper clay. This is our 4 by 5 1/4 piece of designer series paper. And I hated to almost cut this because you see what a pretty scene is on the back of it. But like I said, I ordered more because I want to use some of these. And we're just going to put this on. I'm using liquid glue because I don't have a very large border. And I like to have some movability here for a few seconds after I put it down, because I always seem to have trouble getting it straight. Okay, I think we look pretty good there. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our first of all, we're going to fold our card, which I should have done before I brought it over here, but I did not. So we will just fold it in half. I do score them. Take one of my bone folders. Okay, and then we're going to take this and we're going to put our ribbon on. And the way I do that is I just take a little bit of my Stampin' Seal and I run it along the bottom. And then I turn this over and I eyeball where I think I want my ribbon to be. And I'm trying to about the bottom third of it. And then I look at it. Are we straight? We're pretty close. Well, maybe up a little bit. There we go. Then I just push it around and it holds it right there. And I like to put a little extra Stampin' Seal on the back so it holds it down. I don't want this ribbon come flying out of the middle of my card. And we're going to stick this on the front. Okay. Take my card front. And again, this is a small border, so I'm hoping I can get this done without too many boo-boos. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. This ribbon's still not really straight, but it's gonna do. Okay, there's that. Now for our circle, we're going to take our, oh, I forgot one little piece. I'll be right back. I knew I was going to forget something. Hold on just a minute. Okay, this is the piece that I forgot, and I don't think I even showed you this die. This is cut out of some new paper that's in the new mini, and it's called Oxidized Copper. And it has copper foiling along with some pretty peacock in here, and there's also a sheet that's just straight copper, and you're cutting it out. We're cutting out the veins of the leaf with this die that's from the same die set. Okay, now I did take this and put double-sided tape behind it. I also made a bunch of them without doing that, but this does seem to be a little bit easier. I just need to find my pokey tool. And like I say, the hardest part of sometimes with this sticky strip is just getting it started. And I just want to treat this gently because there are quite a few fine little stem pieces like here that I don't want to. Okay, let's see. So you just pull this off as easily as you can, gently as you can, I guess. It comes off easy. Sometimes it's just hard when you have a lot of different pieces going on, and you see there it's coming off pretty easily. And I'm treating it very carefully because I do not want to tear anything. And there we go. That's a lot easier. All right, and then I'm just going to take this and we're going to put it on the embossed side. Let's see, which side do I want to use? I think I'll use this side. We're going to put it on our leaf, and all I do is I just kind of center the top one, I make sure that my stem or the bottom of the veining is coming out at the very center and bottom of the leaf. And then we just kind of turn it to get it where we want it. And stick it down. Okay. And then we take our glue, and I'm not going out to the tips because some of this leaf is gonna stick over. I think I'll do this just so if my ink or my glue gushes out, it won't. And then I just placed it however I want. This is a circle, so once you get it on here, you can turn your circle however you want it to look on your card front. Okay, and then you end up with your focal point, which I think is very pretty, and I love this copper. So pretty. Okay, and I did pop this circle up. And I'll put one in the middle. As soon as I quit throwing my things on the floor, we'll take our backings of our dimensionals off. And I kind of put this, you want to leave enough room because you have your greeting that you have to stick under here. I'm sorry, I just bumped the camera, but that didn't make you seasick. And I kind of wanted mine at an angle, so I just kind of angled my little circle. Okay. I do think I'm going to put one little small one at the very bottom because I don't want it just sticking on the ribbon because it doesn't make it very, very sturdy. So I'm going to just take one, stick it right there. There, that's better. Okay, and then the other thing we have to do, only other thing we have to do is take our little circle with our greeting, and I kind of just stuck it underneath my, trying to make sure that I was getting it straight. Whoops. Okay. There we go. And let's see, now we'll do some embellishments. I think I'll just go with, I think I'll just go with the copper. So I'm going to take two of the small ones and kind of put it, oh, I don't know, it doesn't show very well on the copper clay. Let's see, how about this? Well, maybe we'll go with gold. There we go. That seems to be show a little better. I'm not sure this might, I might want to change these out. I'm not sure that I like maybe the sparkle, and then I put one up here. Okay. Now, I'll show you on the card how I decorated the inside of the card. I did not bring, I did not do that because I haven't decided what I'm going to put on the inside. But on this one, I just took, what I did is I took the leftover strip that I had from my cutting down for the front, and I put it on a piece of copper clay, like so. Let me see. Bring that over either. So I put it on a piece of copper clay and I just put it on the inside of my card, and then I'll stamp some kind of greeting on here as soon as I decide. So I will do the same thing on this. I just didn't bring over my copper clay piece, but we'll put it on the bottom like that, and then I'll stamp. a greeting. And then for the envelope, all I did is I took this leftover piece. I actually ended up using the whole entire 6x6 piece. I hate having little teeny tiny scraps left over because I never seem to use them. And I just glued it on there. It doesn't quite go to the bottom, but it looks fine. And I also took this, let me find my envelope. I took this really large stamp, and on this one I inked it up in the Pretty Peacock. On this one I would ink it up on with probably the copper clay, and I would just stamp it down here in the corner. And I did not bring my copper clay ink pad over here, so we're just going to pretend that I did that. And that way you have a really nice envelope that's decorated on the front, and you turn it over and it's got pretties on the back. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for taking time to watch me. I enjoyed doing these videos for you all. I hope you like them, and as always, if you have any questions, you can reach me at my email address at suaddicted@gmail.com. You can always order from sherrymini.stampinup.net on my online store, and I will have a blog post with all the measurements and information and pictures of this card on my blog, which is simplylovestampin.com. So thank you again. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, and may God bless each and every one of you, and I will see you all real soon. Bye-bye.